Some of you guys have seen, okay, that we are bringing on a new coach. Okay, I'll give you guys a little bit here. The goal is for them to come in once a month and help train in the live. And we want to diversify what's coming to you, the impact, the knowledge. So we're going to make that announcement once again on the 26th. And as we're all here together, but we have a new coach coming in. And with that, one thing I can always promise you is that we will always be innovating. Okay? The word pivot lies in our family and our companies. It should be on the wall when you come in, just the word pivot, because we're always changing. We're always trying something new. Jim, we're always adding to that $400,000 failure bucket and adding more stuff to it and more stuff to it and more stuff to it. And the one thing you guys can get here with us, you guys have a front row seat on how we fail, we communicate, we get your feedback, and we pivot. Okay, so we listen, we have a vision, we fail, we get feedback, and we pivot. And there's no shame in that. Like, I'm going to mess up more than you guys. Actually, the reason I'm talking today is because I've screwed so much stuff up, I've got some things right, finally. Fair? That's how this works. Like it or not, the more you mess up and you pivot, the more things you're going to get right. So with the new coach, we're going to have some new innovations. One of them, I'll give you a hint on what one of them might be, is our Kajabi communities. That thing hasn't worked like I thought. We have a vision of what we want, and we're working on streamlining our processes to ensure that this community here, which is a whole bunch of badasses, works together and brings to all of us what's most important, which is our knowledge and our community of who we are and why we're here. So let me go to this next. I need your help. I'm serious right now. We have a new studio, and I have a blank wall behind me. I have a whole wall of creation here. What should we put on this wall? Okay, you just think about this for us. We don't know right now. We have a blank wall. So any help that you guys can give us, any of you aesthetics, those ones who took the disc and modus profile, if you have a high aesthetics, would love to know what you think we should put here. So you're an adult with the real estate. Tucker, you're not right, man. We've talked about a lot of things. So just anything that you can think of as we're going through today. If you can think of something right here, right where I'm at, I'd love to know your thoughts. So, and then last, two last things before we get moving today. One, get something to write with, unless you're in a car, Riami. I know, I got you, girl. Don't worry about this. This is why we record it. But get something to write with today, because we're going to have some writing exercises. I need you guys to get out of your head and get some stuff on paper as I'm working through this with you. And then the last piece, the live, we'll have we do a 30-day free membership when someone comes in. That's going to end in April. So if you have anybody you know that you might want to refer into Cheviron Live, just to let you know, at the end of April, we'll stop that. It was an experiment we did. It's had pros and cons, but at the end of April, no more 30 days on Austin and Nate. We're just going full bore right into it. So anybody you know, once again, Chevron's theme this year is to spread the word. We need your help. We need your love. We'll pour into you, help pour into us, make it a win-win. So, okay, today I wanted to talk. I get a two-part series over the next 2 weeks. And because of that, I'm like, okay, sometimes working for 45 to 50 minutes, you can only do so much. And because I get you now for 2 hours over a 2-week period, I thought, okay, I can do some bigger movements here. And what I wanted to do is I want to work through the word success. A lot of us talk about success. A lot of us are looking for success. But I wanted to get into success, and I wanted to go deep and tell you once again my $400,000 failures and my whatever my successes are now. Okay, and I broke success into two pieces. So if you're writing, write this down. Actually, first, before I go into this, I'm gonna call on a couple of you to talk. I want to know what success. When I say the word success, I want to know what comes to your mind. And think about entrepreneurs, think about real estate, think about mortgage. Jared, I'm gonna call on you to start with. Jared, what's success in a nutshell to you? If I say someone's successful, what does that mean? Yep, first thing or two because there's no right or wrong answers, by the way, here. This is not a trap. Alex Burns.
Someone that's on a predetermined goal and they're in the process of achieving it.
Okay, like that. Aaron, what's success? Peters, I know. Saw you typing away, girl.
It's again, setting your goals and sticking to the mindset of achieving them, and also not looking at failures as holding you back from success as long as you're still learning from that as you go.
Okay. Rebecca Webb, what is success? Tell me what's success in real estate. She's like, he called on me. Yes, I did, girl.
Well, success for me is definitely, I guess, meeting your goals, your own expectations for yourself in life. We all have expectations with family and business. So if you set your goals and you set your goals high and you do it, then to me that would be successful.
Okay. Okay. Let me go to Mr. Andy Overy. What does success in real estate look like to you, Andy?
For this year, success is 13 transactions or more and 160 or more qualified people in my database.
Perfect. Good job, Andy. Jessica, what does success look like to you this year? Yes, you, my friend.
This year for me, it is continuing to learn how to have a both and of being a new parent and also having a successful business and paving the way for others that you can have both and it's not either or. And it's a lot about balance for me this year. So it's going to be a great year in real estate, but it's also going to be a great year as a mom and parent. And it's living the good life and doing both and.
Yeah, the nice Austin Freiberger. What's success look like this year for you in real estate?
I'm going to just go with Earl Nightingale's quote, which is success is a progressive realization of a worthy goal or ideal. So for me, anything I'm working towards in real estate, as long as I'm making progress towards that daily, that's success to me.
Okay. And Miss Maria, in the mortgage industry this year, coming off 8% interest rates, what does success look like for you?
Success for me is happiness and not letting fear take over what your goals are. And I'd like to hit 50 transactions for the year.
Yeah. Yeah. She could use some help. What area do you serve, Maria? I'm giving you a shameless plug right now.
Northern Indiana, and I'm also licensed in Michigan.
Okay. So just to be clear, when people share their goals, I try to help them achieve them. She was the first one to share that goal of, boom, let's do this. You did too, Andy, by the way. 160 in his database. I heard that. Okay, one more. Preston, what does success, not for you, I'm changing this up on you now, not for you, but as a real estate agent, how would you define success?
I would define it as the accomplishment of a goal or desired outcome and establishing a life that brings me happiness. And for me, being a newer agent, it's to soak up as much as I can right now, and establishing all my new rules in my building business and in the real estate side.
Yeah. Preston's good at listening. He took all of your answers and combined them into his answer. Good job, Preston. You're young and you're learning, buddy. Don't make up your own stuff. Just do the best of what everybody else has. You're learning. Good job. That's why you're in this group. Save you time. You're the youngest one and doing better than all of us at your age. So, okay. So when I broke this down and I was looking at success, I found it in two different pieces. I found outer success and I found inner success. This is what about 5 hours deep on working on one word does. Is it really helps you get down to the meat of this. And so we have exterior success and interior. And I want to break both of those down. I want to start with, to me, what I believe is the least important of the two, which is the outer appearance. Okay. But that's what most people think success is in all reality. Okay. When we look at like, okay, why is Alfredo successful? Alfredo bought a coffee shop. He's successful, right? No, he's what's called broke. Oh, yeah, but the outer side thinks he's successful because he bought a coffee shop. We're going to break those things down, okay, because it's not always what you think. So here's where I want to start with. I'm going to start on the outer for 3 topics. The first is money and stuff. Okay, I like to use the word stuff because it's really just a bunch of crap and shit is what it is. But it's money and stuff. The second is sales and achievements. And then the third thing is status and lifestyle. So if I break it down, the exterior, the outer, money and stuff, sales and achievements, and status and lifestyle. Okay, so this is the first thing when someone looks at, if I go hang out with Tucker, okay, and Tucker picks me up from the airport in a Lamborghini. Okay? It'd be cool, Tucker, if you did one day. I'd make a video. If I come visit you, you pick me up in a Lamborghini, this would be the story. So what's the first thing I'm going to think if he does? I'm going to say, holy crap, this guy is successful. Right? Let's be real. That's what you're going to think when you see that. You're going to think, man, he is successful. Fair? Wave your hands at me if you think that's a fair statement. Okay? Just want to see who's paying attention here. Rob, where'd your camera go, Rob? Turn that thing back on. I want to see you. Okay? The next part of this is the house. Most of us are in real estate, attached to real estate somehow. So the bigger someone's house is, the more successful you think they are. Fair? Or the smaller their house is. This is reality. Some of you have been trained not to think this way, but it's not natural. It's trained. Okay, and I'm working through this for a specific reason. The bigger their house is, or the smaller their house is, or the newer or the older, is the level of success you think somebody has. And in all reality, we know, because we're in this business, that's not how it works. What normally, if Tucker, open up your mic for me. If you came and picked me up in a Lamborghini, okay, do you think you would be successful or not successful? If you just had to choose one.
Right now, if I were to pick up a Lamborghini, that would be not successful. I don't need to be spending my money on renting a Lamborghini to pick you up.
So that's exactly right. So Tucker said, I don't have the money. And to be clear, most people don't have the money. When I say most people, we're talking 98% of the people. They don't have the money. They don't have the money for the house. They don't have the money for the cars. They definitely don't have the money for all the stuff either. And some of you guys are driving really nice cars right now, Miss. I put premium in it, Riami. Okay? I know. Don't do that to her. Sorry. It's like, don't get on me.
So no. This is a 2008 vehicle, and I will drive this thing to the ground. It has 202,318 miles. So no, just because I drive premium, that doesn't mean I'm gonna drive around in a brand new car. I know where I put my money, so it's not this. Yes, I love nice cars, but that's not where I want to put my money in right now. So put it out there.
I love it. So, hey, sometimes when you poke, the bear bites back. But if you don't poke, you don't know. Now, Riami's right. She puts premium in her car because she has to make that thing still run. So good job. So here's what I want to tell you with these things. We have cars, houses, and stuff. The exterior, when you see it, you're going to see other people, and you're going to see that man, look, they look really successful. And then you're going to have a feeling based off of that. It's all bullshit. Okay, and the quicker you can understand that, the quicker you can become successful. When you compare yourself to other people's money and stuff, it's a losing equation. Because what I found is most people can't afford what they have. Okay, when we talk about success, most of you talked about a goal. The goal that you had is to be somewhere in the future that you're currently not today. Fair? That's what the goal is. The goal is to arrive somewhere in the future where I am not today. If you were there today, it wouldn't be a goal, it would be maintenance. And most of your goals aren't to maintain something, it's to achieve something that you have not. So the car that you drive, the car that you think other people drive, the house they live in, and the stuff they have, what we really need to do is to understand, how is that helping me achieve my goal? Riami has shared her goal with me. Her driving a car with 202,000 miles helps her achieve that goal, right, Riami? Fair? Because she could drive a brand new car. She probably can afford it. The problem is she can't afford it to help her achieve her goal. See, most people I work with have too nice of cars, have too nice of houses, have more shit than they need, and they're lacking on the financial ability to get to their goal. They can't get there. They don't have enough houses. They don't have enough stock. They don't have enough of things that help them get to where they want to get to. So when I say success, the first step is the exterior of what we see. And just to be clear, I bought a Mercedes when I was 30 to tell myself that I was successful. Okay, unfortunately, I had no houses when I was 30 other than the one I lived in. I could have took that $675 payment and bought a rental house and made $100,000 compared to a $50,000 loss. That's the reality of success. So I want you to take 3 minutes right now. Nate, I'm going to have you play some music here for 3 minutes. And I want you guys to write down what success with money and stuff looks like to you. 3 minutes. Write down what success for money and stuff looks like to you. Let's go. Done. That's a quick 3 minutes, wasn't it? Yes. It's because it was 2, just to be clear. So when we do our writing exercises, what I'm doing is just sparking your mind so you can come back to it. Okay, me and Nate were working through, about 2/3 of you guys were writing stuff down there. 1/3 of you were not. Okay, how many times in a day, a week, or a month do you write down what you believe success looks like? Okay, not enough. You just had an opportunity for 2 minutes and 1/3 of you shit all over that opportunity. Just 100% clear. That's why you guys are here, right? Is to learn, is to grow, is to figure it out, is to get somewhere where you're not. So there was opportunity 1. Some of you guys failed on that. Okay, the good news is we'll have a couple more opportunities. So I'm going to move now to the sales and achievements. So when I see success, as a sales guy, I'm like, okay, well, one of the things that would breed success would be transactions, right? Andy has a goal of transactions. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, Maria had a goal with transactions. But what we were seeing here with sales is, how many transactions does someone do? Okay, my top year, I did 88 transactions. All right, pretty good, right? A lot of you guys would like to do 88. I've said it before, if you happen to do 88 transactions, your life would probably be ruined this year. Yep, it'd be ruined. You think it'd be great. It would be a complete mess. You would be burned out. You'd be ready for a new job. You would be divorced. Your kids would hate you. And you would probably be broke. But you think you'd be rich and happy. It doesn't work that way. But when we see success, we look at transactions. We look at awards. Oh, they won this award. Look how good they are. And we all promote the shit out of that like it's an achievement, right? I get you, in the beginning it is. Look, I got this award. I did this. We see that as success. And then the last part here is a long career looks like success. right? Like who's been at, put in the chat how long you've been in your industry. Put in the chat. Let's see who's the longest here. We got 24. Anybody beat 24, 1, 10, 5, 3.5, 15, 7, 19, 25, Miss Tracy. Okay. Okay, I'm about 18 years, 19, oh shit, nope. I'm on 20 years license right now. I'm 20 years, so I'm third in the ranking next to Tracy and Becky. Okay. Here's what I want to say. With all due respect to anybody who's been in this industry for a long time, if we could go back 20 years ago, we would probably hope that maybe we'd be in a different place today. Fair? Tracy? Is that fair? Okay. Like, and all due respect for anybody that's been in this for a very long time, thank you, Becky. With all due respect, we all wish we would be someplace else, maybe a little further down the line, maybe saved a little more money. Maybe Tracy and Becky could be working for free right now with the youth at their church, with anywhere. You know, they've put a lot of years in. I've put a lot of years in. And so when we look at a career from someone, we equate that to success. When we see their awards, we equate that to success. When we see 88 transactions, we equate it to success. Here's what I found, is it's not success necessarily. Okay? And I'm telling you guys this, and I'm working through this because it's very important that what you shine your light on probably isn't what you think it is. What you believe success is not actually success. 88 transactions was not success. Does anybody know, if I've said this before, does anybody know what my success was when I sold 88 homes in a year? I've said it before. I don't know if you guys remember it. Does anybody know? You can open up your mic if you know that. Freiberger, you could know. Oh, there you go, Tucker. Tucker's got it. My success wasn't the amount of homes I sold that year, to be very clear. It was not that. It was the amount of time I did it in. That was my success. And so I'm talking with you about sales and achievements. It is very important. Don't get me wrong. It's very important. But don't hang everything on it. And when you look at other people, you're like, man, they're selling more than me. Man, they have more awards than I have. Man, they've been in this career so long and I'm jealous of this. That's bullshit. Catch that today, because I want to work with you later on what real success looks like. So let's take 2 to 3 minutes here, and I want you to write down what success in your sales and achievements look like for you.
Easter is coming up fast this year, which means
Do you want me to get you, Tammy? Get out of the garage.
Just to make sure we're all on the same page. Exterior, interior, out, in. This first part, we're talking about the outward success and what that looks like for you shining on your life to everybody else and what you see everybody else has and how you relate to it in your own life. Okay? Out of the two, it's the smaller one. It's normally where we start. Okay, and we can identify it. A lot of times we set our goals around these things. I'm not saying there's anything bad with this, but I want to let you know if that's the rabbit that you're always chasing, you might get down the path 20, 30, 40 years and realize that you've been chasing the wrong rabbit or you should have switched earlier. Becky, I'm seeing a yes from Becky. And normally this one, Preston, where you're at, it's a lot harder for you to realize this. Maybe, maybe not. But it can be harder as you're younger and it becomes more apparent as you get older and life gets more clear to you, what the purpose is and what you're here for. Okay. Last one on the exterior here is status and lifestyle. Okay, under status and lifestyle, I have 3 different buckets. So when we say status and lifestyle, the first thing I see is the social side. Okay, especially just go to social media for an example. I mean, the reason I'm not a huge fan of social media is I understand what it does to your mind and the depression it gives you compared to someone else. Oh, look at Riami. She sold 6 houses this week. I'm a loser. I only sold 1. Well, the 6 she sold, she did for free for her cousin, and she's losing money. Not Riami. Okay, but the first thing we think is we compare ourselves to people with where they're at and what they're promoting. Okay, the second piece here is the travel. I love to travel myself. I can tell you, I look at everyone else and say, man, they're living better than me. They're more successful. They're traveling on a fucking jet. And I'm sitting in coach in the back listening to someone go to the bathroom because I don't have the money to upgrade my ticket. Right? Some of you guys are laughing right now, but that's reality. So when we travel, like, where are they going? Like, man, they went to Disney. They stayed at the Floridian. We stayed at Art of Animation. You know, if you guys go to Disney, you know what I'm talking about right now. That's about $1,000 different a night for just another 10 square feet in the room. And I compare myself to other people. They're drinking good coffee. I drink shit coffee. So when you look at the travel, when you look at what they're doing, please know what you see is normally not true. It's fake. They bought, just like Tucker, they bought the Lamborghini and they rented it and they really couldn't afford it. They gave up their goals, their future to afford this one thing. I'll just tell you, my wife has a harder time with this. She's like, we have money. Why do we live like we're poor? I'm like, because I have goals. And the goals don't have to do with stuff and what Austin Freiberger thinks about me. That's his problem. Yes, my clothes are old. That's okay. I have really good things to help me with my goals, though. So the last one, here's the groups. Oh, the groups. I see people sitting in groups like, oh, look what group they're in. Oh, they get to hang out with these people. I'm going to talk more about this in a second with proximity. But when we look at the exterior and they're like, oh, look at all the people these people are with. 1, they probably don't even know them. 2, they might have had to pay for them. And 3, the groups might not be that good. Because once you really get into it, what you're going to find, like I found, is most of the things that I hold in these categories that I held up here on a pedestal, when I got close and I investigated it, it was crap. Okay? Now in the beginning, once again, you're gonna put these 3 things up here and say, I want to achieve these. These are important to me. Sales, status, lifestyle, career. These things are very important in the beginning. But what will happen is once you get those things and you realize that they don't fulfill you like you thought they would, then you're going to switch to these next 5. I'm going to give you the 5 that I found are important to me, and I'm going to work through them in the last half hour. Yeah. Keep your stuff to write with here. Ready, Corey? You got the group engaged? Give me a thumbs up, Williams group right there. Okay, let's go. We'll make sure you guys are paying attention, not talking to each other. All good. They have no clue what they're in for, Corey. Okay, so here's where success really lies to me and where I'm at now. I've worked through this for about 15 years. I've been at the bottom of the barrel where the crap is scraped, and I've been the cream that's rise to the top. I can tell you, when you focus more on these 5 things and those first 3 categories, success will become more evident. You'll be more fulfilled. If you've got 20 to 25 years in your career, Tracy, imagine 20 years ago focusing on these 5 things and what they would have done for you. I know we got to worry about what we got today moving forward, right? But I can tell you, for someone like me, Tracy, and Becky with 20 plus years experience, if we could have shifted our mindset to what success really was like and not what our brokers were giving awards for. Do you know why you get an award with your brokerage? It's because you make them money. You get an award because they love you because you made them a bunch of money. You don't get an award for the human being you are a lot of times, which is what's most important. So let's get into the first one, clarity. Clarity. How does clarity equal success? Why did I say that? Why did I start with that one? Clarity. If you want success, you got to get clear on what you want and why you want it. I truly believe when you know what you want, like I am very clear on what I want and what I don't want. And because of that, it shifts my day every day. Like a river going, like going down a river, man. I can figure out what I want, why I want it. I can say yes, I can say no. I know what fills me, and I know what doesn't. I know what that goal is. Alex Burnt. Oh, buddy, I've hammered you hard on this. What is module 1 of our agent success program?
Goals.
Hey, if anybody's been on the journey with me and Alex, that is a huge win for Alex, just by the way. That is a huge win. So he's 1 for 11 so far in the live with the Agent Success Program. That a boy, Alex. Making progress, baby. So here's why I start with goals, is because if you're not clear, nothing else matters. It's just a big, muddy mess for you. So how do you get clear on what you want and why do you want it? Raise your hand, electronic hand, if you're clear, and I'm going to call on you. Raise your hand if you are clear on what you want, why you want it. Riami, right out of the gate. Let's go, girl. What are you clear on? Give me 20 seconds.
I'm very clear on exactly where my vision is. And there's literally to the point where I am unshakable, unmovable, and like I'm so firm on exactly what I want.
Tell us what it is.
Well, I actually want to build this space where it promotes mind, wealth, health, and all this stuff. So that's my ultimate vision, and bringing people in together. So I'm so clear on that. Like I'm unshakable.
But Riami, you should get a new car. You driving this 2008 with 202. You have to put premium in it because it doesn't even run. You should get a new car.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Literally, I am sitting in a private school right now with, I can look at the pretty cars around me. That's fine for now. I'll just drive what I have right now. How about that?
Her vision. She's got a vision. A new car gets in that way of her vision. When we first started, all you guys said goals. What's success look like? It's achieving a goal. She has a goal. Everything else is getting in the way if it's not helping her get to it. That's very clear. Honey, tell us what you're clear on in your life.
So what I'm clear on is that I would like to do research on personality types and bring that knowledge to the world so people can understand each other.
Why is that important to you?
It's important to me because when I see people accept each other despite their idiosyncrasies, it brings healing to my life.
Okay, tell me a decision you've made in the last 2 weeks because you are clear on that goal that is a decision you made or did not make to help you achieve it.
this morning, I really wanted to quit lead gen early, and I pushed through and I continued finishing the notes from that I was writing for the database that I collected from the band reunion that I was part of.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. I talk about that in module 1. If you went through the agent success program, with eating some food, with having clarity on my weight goal, that everything I put in my mouth, I was so clear on why I was doing it and what it was, it helped me drive toward my goal. Honey's lead generation this morning, just to be clear, you guys all have financial goals. Okay. Everything you do in your legion helps you with your financial goals. And normally during your legion time, you're very, very weak. You got to have that goal. You got to be clear on what it is so you can drive through it. Corey, what is something you are very clear on, Corey?
I am very clear that I wake up every day to help people that are willing to help themselves first.
You're going all that deep on us. Say that once more for everybody.
I am very clear that the reason I wake up every morning is to help people that are willing to help themselves first.
You should write that down, put a big star around it, and then send Corey a message and tell him thank you when you figure that one out. I'm going to give that a second. He just dropped a golden nugget for everybody. For any of those of you guys who are running teams right now, what you'll find is that you'll put people on your team because it makes you look good or you think you're going to make money, and they're not willing to wipe their own butt. And so you wake up every day and you wipe it for them. And then you complain to all of us. What Corey just said is, I don't do that. They have to come in ready, willing, and able. And those are the people I'm looking to help. That's a golden nugget, Corey. Thank you for sharing that wisdom with the group. Mr. Mike, last one here. What are you clear on, Mike?
What am I clear on? Well, I'm clear on building a foundation of a dream that I have, that I've compiled over the last so many years, and aligning with the right people to make this dream come true, to ultimately be a one-stop shop in real estate, to own my own brokerage, which I do, to own my own mortgage brokerage, which I do, and to own my own title company, which I do, but to be able to add the most value to agents, brokers, and clients to provide the best overall service in the industry, but doing it with the right people and not listening to naysayers and doubters, and having a clear mind and a clear conscience going through the whole process from beginning to end.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And one thing I will give you guys a hint: when you have a clear mind, what can be hard is to clearly articulate it to other people. Me and Nate spent a lot of time talking to a lot of people about what we were doing, and it was very confusing for everybody but me and Nate. If you guys have ever worked with us, you know what I'm talking about right now. It's very confusing when we explain everything that we're thinking of and that we want to do. And so what me and Nate did is we put it all in an illustration so somebody can see it. So there's a hint for you. If you want to get clear, once you got it in here, get it clear on paper so you can show other people. Okay? Because if Rob has a vision and it's clear and he tries to tell me and I can't understand it, I can't help him. So it's just as important that Rob can show me his vision, let alone tell me. And even if he thinks that I can hear him clear, I might have had a bad day and I can't hear it, but he might be able to show it to me and give it to me and explain it. And it might help me understand his clarity. Okay, let's go to the next one. Mindset. Nate, you want to post that book? I'm going to give you guys a book here that I read on mindset. Beautiful book. Carol Dweck wrote a book on mindset, and she talks about a growth mindset compared to a fixed mindset. So Nate put the link right there if you want to read a great book. Success is about your mindset. Okay, I've worked with a lot of people over time. It's growing and growing and growing at a pace that I am so grateful for, but I keep finding the same issues over and over. And mindset, when you get the right mindset, success becomes easy. Because you can give me anything in this world and I will figure it out. You can show me a goal and I will achieve it. Because I have a growth mindset. I'm a resourceful human being. I will figure out a way. If you have a huge problem, give it to me. I will crush it. I don't have problems. Riami, we were talking earlier. My mindset is, I don't have an issue. I have an opportunity here that I haven't figured out what that is. That's my mindset. It's an opportunity. Jim, Diana, you guys had a flood go through your office, right? What was my mindset earlier today? What did I tell you to focus on?
How to use it to teach our team something.
That's my mindset. I don't look at the shit in a bad way. I look at it as a positive way. I have a friend, talking about shit, I have a friend who sells manure for a living. He makes millions of dollars selling manure. Never would have thought. He completely changed how I looked at that. So where is your mindset? Do you have an open mindset or do you have a closed mindset? If you said right now in the last 43 minutes that I've heard that before, your mindset is closed and you need to document that because you're missing opportunities every single day that come by you. Do you have an open mindset? Do you allow people to pour into your cup? If you've been at a presentation with me before, I would say, hey, if you have a cup, please keep your cup open like this. Don't do this with it and close it. Let me pour into it, please. No matter what you know or what you think or where you've been, let me pour into your cup. Please have an open mindset for the next 60 minutes. You might know more than me. That's great. You're just looking for one thing. You're looking for one thing, to be clear. So do you have an open mindset? Do you have a closed mindset? Do you have a growth mindset or do you have a fixed mindset? Okay. Love it. Wildman's in here. Next one. Ooh, the next one's tough. Talking about Wildman. Where's Wildman at? Is he not moved over? It'd be cool if I could see him. 1 second, Wildman. Let me see if you're over in the attendee world. Come over, Wildman. I want to use him as an example here if he's here. There he is. I saw him post something in the chat. There he is. Sorry you're not getting moved over. You must have been late coming in. Open your mic, please. Well, open your mic. Were you late coming in?
I was attending other things and came in late.
Oh, okay. Maybe he has a great guy. Could have been at a funeral for all I know. Watch the bear you poke, right, Riami? So watch the bear you poke. So number 3 here, Wildman's going to be my special guest. Number 3, if you want success, you need to be consistent. And consistency sucks. Absolutely sucks to be consistent. It's hard. It's boring. But consistency, when you have clarity on what you want and you have the right mindset, consistency becomes easier. It's a mixture for me of number 1 and number 2. Right?
It's
Jordan,
true.
that's one thing me and Jordan's been working on for years is getting him consistent.
It's true self-love, discipline, and consistency.
I remember once I was showing a house. This was probably 9 years ago. And I was throwing up about an hour before I was showing the house. Okay? But I told someone I was going to show the house. My wife's like, you're not going to leave, are you? I go, of course I'm going to leave. I'm a man of my word. I said I was going to show the house. She goes, you're sick. I go, I'm not sick right now. So I'm going to put some gloves on. I went to the house. I opened up the door. I went, sat in my car, put my seat back, and I fell asleep. I rolled down my window. When the buyers got there, they said, hey, Austin, I woke up. I said, I'm sick. Go in the house. When you're done, lock it up. Give me the key and I'll put it away. Okay? That's my mindset, and I'm very consistent at what I do. Have I ever been late to coming to live? Have I ever been late? Not once. And it's not just with you guys. I've been doing this for 7 years, and I've never been late once. Okay? Mindset, clarity, consistency. You want to know what really brings success? This is the inner stuff that you guys have to work on. And this is hard work. It's easier to say, look at all the stuff I sold, look at the car I drive, look at the house I live in. And then when I break it down, when I break into the human being and I really study what success is, and I work with thousands of people over the last 10 years, this is success, clarity. They're clear. They know what they want. They have the right mindset. They have an open mindset. They have a growth mindset. They're very consistent. Here's the next one. Whoo! Here's the next one. You ready? It's proximity. Right? Heard that 100 times. Keep an open cup. It's proximity. My question to you is, how well do you do at proximity? How well do you do? Write down right now. I want you to write 2 names. What is proximity? Great question. Proximity is how close you are to other people. Tracy? So what is our proximity, Tracy? Think about it that way. How close are you to me? The only thing we haven't done together is we haven't actually been here at my office working together. We've pretty much done a lot of the other stuff, but we haven't been here working together. So you have pretty good proximity to me, I would say. Okay? How close of a relationship do you have with people? So right now, I want you to write these 2 things. I'm going to break these 2 things down. 1, I want you to write who's in too close of proximity to you. Who needs to go away? Yep. That's most of the battle. Who do you have in your life that's too close to you? Yep, write it down, identify. You already know who they are. You just haven't done anything. You've allowed them to stay in your proximity circle because of some reason. If it's a family member, then just lower the proximity. Just hang out with them on Easter and Christmas. Not every weekend. You guys are funny. I can't read the chat when I work with you guys sometimes. You guys get me laughing. Okay, the other side is, who do you need in your proximity? I'll give Mike and Michael props here. Mike, sit down. Say, hey, Mike. He left right when I was going to talk to him. I'll give him some props. He's like, hey, I want to run something by you. I'm like, oh, great. He's like, do you mind if I drive 3 hours to come meet with you and talk to you for an hour? I'm like, well, that sounds rather stupid, but it's brilliant. There's Mike coming back. Mike, you hear me? Yep, he's back. So Mike knew that being in closer proximity would help him with his goal. So Mike drove 3 hours to come down to Fort Wayne to talk, probably for 60 minutes is what he was thinking, maybe a little bit longer, about something he had, something he was thinking. Proximity. So who needs to get outside of your proximity, and who do you need to get closer to your proximity? I'm going to work through, I got 10 minutes left. I got 2 more. I'm going to work through both of these at a pretty high level right now. Proximity. It's the number one thing I've done to help me to get to where I'm at. And it's not the people I brought into my life. It's the people I got out of my life. Let that sink in for a second. It's easy to bring someone positive into your life. It's hard to get out the negative. You have emotions. You have, what are they going to say? You have, oh my God, they know shit about me that I don't want them saying, right? If you're not laughing, you're a goody-goody right now. Okay? They know things about me I don't want them telling other people. Okay? There's half the group. But proximity is about getting the people out of your life so you have room and space for the new people. Because let me tell you, Colleen, if I come down to North Carolina and I hang out with you and I see you're hanging out with a whole bunch of losers, I'm never going to come back and hang out with you. Right? You know what I'm talking about now. Yep. Guess what? Me and Colleen met in a group that's really good for proximity. That group is really good, right, Colleen? Yep. That group's really good for proximity. So who do you need to get out of your life? And I want you to identify it. Every time I stepped up the ladder of success, I let go of my friends. Not all of them, but all the ones that I outgrew that weren't willing to continue to grow with me. That's hard stuff. And I don't mean you got to say, hey, Jordan. I'm just picking on Jordan right now because he was late today. I'm not saying, hey, Jordan, I don't want to talk to you anymore because you're a loser. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm just saying is, hey, maybe Friday nights we don't hang out anymore. Maybe I just see you at church on Sundays and I wave at you. I'm not going to kill the relationship. I'm just going to limit my time of it. I might still like the person, but I can't afford to get to my goal to hang out with him anymore. Are you crystal clear on what that goal is? Clarity. Do you have that to be able to say, this person I can no longer surround myself with anymore? I remember when I first had my daughter, I was doing stuff maybe I shouldn't. And there was a time in which the light bulb went off that says, I can't do this anymore. I got a kid. I can't hang out with you when you do stupid stuff like this. If I was still there, I would never be here. If I didn't get that person out of my life, I would never be here with you today. Ever. Proximity. Who do you need to get out? Now, I'll give you a positive message about getting somebody in. Tony Robbins is one of my mentors. Anything that I can do to get close to Tony, I do it. I'm not stupid. Yeah, I'm not stupid. So here's what I did. One, I can't hire Tony. One, he wouldn't hire me. Two, I don't make enough money. I might have enough money to work with them once or twice or a year, and then I'd be broke. But I haven't done, you guys are laughing. It's like, it's true. I could pay you for a year and then I'd be broke so here's what I did. I found out who taught Tony's courses and I hired that person as one of my coaches. Proximity. I'm one step away from Tony now. The guy who taught his seminar, I hired him. I paid him $3,000 a month to sit in a Zoom meeting like this twice a week or twice a month. $3,000 for this same Zoom, listening to a guy who I thought was up here. And then in all reality, when I figured out who he was, I quit and canceled because he was way down here. Remember the cars and the boats and all that shit that we all think is it? He was a great example in my life of what's not success. Second person, Don Hobbs. Shake your hands if you know who Don Hobbs is. Oh, we got a couple of us do. Okay. I've been hearing about Don Hobbs for about 25 years in my life because my dad studied Don. My dad went to his conferences. Don Hobbs was Jim Rohn's president of his company. If you've been in live long enough, I brought Don in here. Don was Tony Robbins' boss. Don ran the #1 marketing agency for real estate agents in the country. I got in proximity with Don because of Don and because I knew he was close to Tony. Don's one of the only people that can call Tony and get him to speak somewhere. If you've heard Tony talk before, it could have been because of Don. And then the last one, Jairek Robbins, his son, was the president of Success Coaching. I went to a gala and I spent $20,000 in donations to get in proximity to Jairek Robbins and a couple other people. Because I understand what proximity does. $20,000 to get in proximity of money I probably didn't have at that time. And the sad part was, I never even went on the trip to Puerto Rico because my ears blew up when I scuba dived. But Jairek knows who I am now. We've had conversation. I have his phone number. Proximity. Who do you need to get out of and who do you need to get in your life more? Last one, I'm going to wrap up with this. The last one here. Oh, Wildman, we've talked about this one, brother. Good seeing you, man. Good seeing you. Last one, for success, communication. Oh, shit, communication. #1 problem in life is communication. Jordan, can you tell everybody what I called you when I first met you? What did I call you?
A unicorn.
Called him a unicorn. Because the way he communicated with me, it drew me into him. I got done talking to him for like a half hour, and I said, "Do I know you?" He's like, "No." And I'm like, "Well, I feel like I do. You're like a unicorn." I swear to God. And then, Jordan, what's the number one thing that we've worked on for the last 2 years with you that's a huge deficit in your life?
Communication.
Communication. My God, here we go again. This guy sits at this spectrum of communication and this spectrum with great intentions. He sits up here, huge success, can pull me in, and then he sits down here with 400 voicemails and didn't call me back in 3 days because he's overloaded and overwhelmed. Okay? Communication is your character. You want success, you got to have other people understand that you are a person of high communication. People ask me all the time, "Austin, what made you successful?" And I said, "I just communicate." Jessica, where's Jessica at? Do I still got Jessica on here? Jessica, shake your hands if you're still here. Miss Jessica, did she drop out? I don't see her anymore. Jessica asked me when she first met me, she's like, "How do you do it? How did you communicate with me this quickly?" She goes, "I know you have all this other stuff going on. How did you do it?" And I go, "That's one of my character pieces is I communicate. I communicate very well, very clearly, and I do it in a timely manner." Some of you guys right now, you're missing the communication on your success. That's one of the things you're missing. You want to be successful? You better get your communication shit straight right now because that's your character. And when people look at you and they see how you communicate, they're going to judge you that quick by it. Okay, so let me wrap these 5 up. Clarity, mindset, consistency, proximity, and communication. And I'm going to end with this. What you believe is success and what you perceive in other people, when you look at them and you say, "Honey's successful, Alex is successful, Nina's successful," because they're selling all this. They live in this community. They drive this car. They got a yacht. Let me just stop for a second and tell you that's normally not what success is. And I get in the beginning that maybe is what's helping driving you. That's the outer. But what I found and what I personally work on now in my success is not more sales. You guys know I'm money driven. I don't even know how much money I've made in the last 4 years. I couldn't tell you how much money I make a year anymore. And I knew every number of everything. Why? It's because it's not important to me anymore. Yes, I need to pay the bills. Yes, I want to invest. But what's important to me is, can I get clear on who I am and why I'm here on this earth? Can that help drive the decisions? Can I have the right mindset when Jim Abner says, "Hey, here's what I got going on"? I go, "You know what? I got you. I have an abundance mindset. We will figure it out." Can I show up on time over and over and over? Because the better I show up, the more that someone's going to invest in me. And the more people invest in me, the higher my success will become. Can I put myself in the right groups? And by doing that, I got to get myself out of the bad groups. Because you're going to run into people like me, and I'm not going to hang out with you if you're hanging out with those people. And the last one, can you improve your level of communication? Can you understand the DISC profile? Can you understand how long it takes for you to get back with someone? And I'm not talking about the Zillow shit in 4 seconds. I'm just saying in a respectable way for you and for them. Can you return communication? Can you give communication? Can you communicate over and above? Can you follow up? And if you can do that, I can promise you that's where your success will lie. So this was part 1 of a 2-part series on success. I wanted to give you some nuggets today. Next week, we're going to come back. We'll put a bow on this. So thank you, everybody. We're at our hour. I will see you next week. Thank you.